if your conversations are this good, then you'll tend to find like there's a lot more people that are just randomly asking you for help in your DMs. I'm gonna show you guys what a really good convo looks like. Like, it's one of the best B2B conversations I've seen on this offer. The biggest thing to take away from it is firstly, so he thinks this guy's chatting shit. Then he's naturally gonna back away. All the flow for a B2B. So today we are going to be running a training call for a setting community with my two setters here. They both set for Josh Agbasit, and we are currently doing a B2B offer. We're gonna be going through content offer, setting, rating everything, breaking everything down basically, so you guys know how to set. I'll also be picking on these boys a lot. It should be really good. What I wanna do is go through like a couple convos. Any ones in particular that you guys have got?
Oh, let's do Isaac.
Yeah, let's actually do Isaac. Guys, I'm gonna show you guys what a really good combo looks like. This guy followed us last month and he helps 9-to-5ers into 6-figure AI CEOs. Helps 70+ individuals. He's got a good profile. The first thing to do, that we have to do, is look through his profile and see, okay, what's good and what's bad. So we'll go to like these videos because this is when he came to us. What do you guys think? Adam, off bat, what are you seeing that's good? What are you seeing that's bad?
Well, it's all the same like format. There's no variety, and it's not great like production for authority and stuff. It looks like messy. There's no real intention.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so no intention, same format, messy content structure. That'll do to start with. Let's see what we've got. First things first. He popped up and he said, "We are legit saying anything that grabs attention nowadays, haha." Isaac responded and said, "Shooting as many odd bullets as I can. Are you Philo?" Okay, so this is good because Josh is Filipino. Isaac is clearly Filipino. He said, "Yes, sir, you. Happy to see you killing it. Rare to come across one in info. Yeah, man, not many of us out here. Too many Malaysians, aha." Okay, Adam, what do you think of these messages so far?
I mean, I like it. Like it seems chill. It doesn't seem like a setup, and like it's easy to get him to fuck with you.
What do you think about this message here? Do you understand the intention behind it or no?
Yeah, is it because Suwe is Malaysian?
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. This is really important, guys. When you are setting, you have to be thinking of stuff like this in order to push it towards talking about business. Like the way he did it here is we're talking about Filipinos, we're talking about race, and then we talk about, there's too many Malaysians in the space. Why is that good? Because Suwe is Malaysian. Why is that even better? Because we worked with Suwe and we scaled Suwe. So it's a free testimonial to bring up. Adam, what's up?
Wait, so if the guy didn't ask, "Are you Philly?" would Aiden or Gab, would you guys have asked, like based on what he looks like?
Yeah, that's a good.
Okay, cool.
When they look like they possibly could be Asian, it tends to work quite well. Even if they aren't Asian, it tends to work.
Yeah, low-key. Okay. Team of the Malaysians, I'm saying ha ha ha. I keep telling Suwe it's all because of him. Guy's got all the Asians running his face. Okay, so this is really good because now we're talking about Suwe. Easy transition to business. And he said, "Is he your client?" Jackpot. I love it though. It's a little golden window to get in. Used to be where you based, helped them scale from 5 with content alone. Organic King. Cool. What did you think of this? Who has like a comment about this? Good or bad?
It's building authority. But yeah, he's my client. Like you've definitely heard of him, but I helped him do that.
Okay. The biggest issue with this is that they're having a live conversation, and if you're ever in a live conversation with a lead, let them finish, because they're not going to say anything that means that you can't reply to the message you wanted to reply to. But it just makes it look really messy. And then you can't say everything you wanted to say, right? So when he said, "Is he your client?" he said, "Used to be," and then they carried on. But if you had really just like stopped and let him finish and then given a whole paragraph about what you did for Suwe and then like replied with that, it would have been way stronger. Organic King, it's a little golden window to get in. And you have high intent buyer content for sure. SD, but thinking about moving to New York or LA. Pace is a little slow here. He said, "Yep, people know they get results. What is it like for the info space out there? Both New NYC and LA are so active, you'll love it." Cool, what do you guys think? What could we have said here? Is this a good reply or no?
Yeah, I like it. It's a good transition when you bring up like area or countries. Transition to business.
Yeah, I agree. You had like 2 options here, right? You can either go down the route of, how do you know Jonas? Because Jonas is a massive case study. We scaled him to 6 figures, right? Yeah. And then he also talks about location. So here you have to make a choice, right? Either you talk about mutuals or you talk about like San Diego and the location. The reason why it's good that you spoke about location is because this can get high sales pressure, right? If he's saying you have high buy intent content for sure, and then you jump on that and you're like, oh yeah, and you try and sell him, then he's naturally going to back away, right? It's like the push-pull. If you are heavily onto like a girl, for example, then she's naturally going to want to be like, not that I would know, not that I would know, but in sales, that's how it is, right? So you going into location is really good because it will probably make him subconsciously think like, holy shit, this guy's not even trying to sell me. He's not even trying to talk about like the clients and stuff, right? People know they'll get results, good, like good way to just chill acknowledgement. What's it like for the info space out there? Both NYC and LA are so active, you'll love it. This is good. Your kind of like flow for a B2B and everyone in general, the flow for a B2B, a really good report chain is location, how is it for the info space? Because then you just like, you're straight into talking about business, right? Zero physical info community out here. Okay, cool. Now, based on the framework which you guys both follow, how do you deal with this?
Say you should come out to London and then say, like, how are you getting most of your... Is it how...
I think it's just a statement. You just leave it as that and then see how they respond.
Oh yeah, I hate doing that though.
Okay, what it actually is zero physical info community out there. He says it. You're like, shit, you should come out to London, it's much better here. And then you say, how was it starting up your business model in a place where no one else was doing it? Or you can say, like, that's so strange, like, how did you get into it, seeing as no one else is doing it in your space? And then it's like easy into like, how's it going, or where are your leads coming from, whatever. Come London, bro, so active. No way, I need to plan a trip out there. When do you start scaling creators? This is good, because now we've pushed him, right? He's now like coming back. Started about a year ago. Sue was one of my first clients, but been in the online space for years. How about you? Just started this account. Cool. Love info though, there's so much to learn and improve. Okay, guys, based on this, right, we asked him a question, he gave us some information here. What do we need to dig into? What are like, okay, out of everything he said here, what are the main things we can sell him on?
He started about 7 months ago.
Yeah, he started 7 months ago. That's true, that's definitely a selling point. Anyone else?
We also can ask him how it's going so far for him as well.
Yep, on his business. Yep. Anyone else?
You can say, like, what are you trying to improve on, or what are you focused on right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
You can acknowledge the YouTube.
You can acknowledge the YouTube, yeah. So we got like 4 key things here, right? He's talked about that he's seen our YouTube. He's talked about that he started the offer 7 months ago. He just started the account and that he loves info, right? Okay, now we need to go through it and we need to work out which one is valuable for us to use. And then we'll work out if your message was actually good, which it could be a bit better.
I know it was.
I actually came across your YouTube a while back. Good, but we don't need to talk about that, right? It's just him just glazing us again and again, which is really good, right? It shows that he's interested, right? But we don't need to acknowledge that. Started my offer 7 months ago. There's a way you can go down this route where you work out, okay, how much is he making? And then, wow, he's been doing it for 7 months. He's not making enough money. But that's a really long route to go on and it requires like a lot of challenging. Cool. So this is what we have to dig into, right? This is difficult to dig into. Just started this account. This is something that we can dig into, right? Yes, you can go down the route of what you're trying to improve on, but if you ask him, how's the account going, right? Then he's going to tell you how it's going. And if he says good, then you can ask him what you're trying to improve on. If you say what you're trying to improve on, he can tell you what you're trying to improve on, but he's not necessarily telling you that anything's bad, right? But you can say what you're trying to improve on, and then how's it going? It's difficult to say that. Whereas it's very easy to say, how's it going? And then if he doesn't give you the answer you want, then you just ask what you're trying to improve on. So I would always ask, how's it going before what are you trying to improve on? Anyway, info really is the way, bro. I wouldn't have said this shit because it's like body.
Yeah.
And anyone that's high up in info isn't really going to say like, oh, info's the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've been pumping out a lot of content for this account recently. Good shit, man. Again, like I wouldn't compliment him because you can pump out content, but it's shit, right? So you could say something like, oh, like one of your reels actually popped up on my feed, haha, some shit like that. Or like anything around there. And then, how's it been going for you is good because you're talking about his content. So that is good. This is how I would say it, right? Building back up, most of my leads came through TikTok, but I had to restart an account. First month did 20K running, so it's a work in progress. If someone says, are you Josh or his setter, what do you say?
I think it definitely depends on the offer, but
I'll probably cap and say I'm Josh.
How would you say it though?
I'm probably just gonna say, yo, no, I'll be like, no, this is Josh. That's it.
Okay, here's the thing, right? If someone asks you a question, right? For example, let's say you go into the cookie jar and your mum says, did you have a cookie? If you say no, she'll just think that you had a cookie, right? Like it's normal. It's like almost like defensive to just be like, no, right? Nah, it's me. Especially when there's no way of proving it, right? It's like super disingenuous. So what you do, if anyone ever, or if a lead ever asks you, are you a setter? All you need to say is, nah, I'm actually ramping one up at the moment, so they're doing follow-ups for me. Because that way, it's very justified in the lead's head. It's not like, oh, why is this guy in his own, like, it handles so many objections. Because if you say, no, it's me, then he's gonna think, why the fuck is he in his own DMs? Is he not making any money? Does he not have anything else to do, right? Whereas, if you say, no, we're actually just transitioning through setters, that's a natural thing that happens with business owners. And so it's like fully justified and you fully trust that it's you. And also no setters say that shit. So B2C offer, B2B offer, whatever it is, make sure you say that. That is the handle. I'm currently transitioning a new setter on, so he's just doing follow-ups for me and I'm managing the inbox for now.
Can we just joke about it, or basically we can just joke on in B2C, not B2B?
I wouldn't really joke about it. In B2C, it's more likely that you joke about it, but there's not really any point in general. Like, you may as well just... Yeah. In B2C, though, you don't want to say, like, oh, I'm onboarding a new setter, really and truly. Like, you want to say something like, oh, I have someone that handles most of the messages on my account, but I just talk to a few people in the DM, something like that, right? It's me, my setter does a few follow-ups for me. Again, like, the small change that I'd make is I'd talk about, like, transitioning him onto the offer. 20k, bro, solid. 20k, solid, bro. What's your aim with this? First month with decent, then good work. Okay, this is shit because you didn't carry on the conversation. It's like he's so warm, and then you just like deaded the conversation. You should have carried on and asked more questions. What question could we ask here?
I'd probably say like, what's the focus or what are you trying to improve on right now? Or like, what's the focus for your page right now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're in a really good position because we said, how's it going? It didn't work. It's not the end of the world because we can just ask what's your intention with the content? So, cool, honestly, just showing up every day, producing higher quality content, higher intent. What can do you use super quality? Oh, what can? Okay, yeah. Cool. How do we respond to this? Now we have something we can actually work with. What is the most important piece of information in this like text?
The high intent.
Yeah, higher quality, high intent, 100%. How do we dig into that?
I'd probably say high intent in what sense?
Yeah, great. Literally exactly
What
that.
do you mean?
Exactly that. What do you mean by high intent? High intent in what sense? Any of them work, right? The idea is you just get the lead to open up about what they're talking about. The camera thing, you have to answer because then you show that you're Josh. And on top of that as well, like, it's disrespectful not to answer. So you have to do that first because you want to dig into this last. And yeah, this is fine. You don't have to really reply to this. What do you mean higher intent? Yeah, perfect. Content that converts for sure. Was thinking about the ZVE10 too, but that's bull. How does your content perform at the moment? This is fine actually, if you just like that. I probably would have responded and then say this.
What's good, Josh?
Sorry.
Yes, bro. So when it comes to content, I honestly think it's more of a compound thing and testing different angles when shooting different bullets. Especially with like the whole world of personal branding. It's supposed to be brand, right? And I feel like a lot of people are getting that wrong, but it's something that's still in progress for sure. So I've just got to keep shooting bullets and yeah, brother.
Okay, cool. What can we dig into here? What is good about what he said? What's that angle from here? Anyone? Gab?
Shooting many bullets.
Okay, how can we dig into that?
Because he doesn't have a plan, he doesn't have a strategy to the point that he's just doing whatever.
Okay, so what part of the conversation have we moved on to now, or can we move on to?
He definitely exposed to us the pain. Now we can give him some insight into the solution
Yeah.
in terms of what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is like we have to challenge here. So, as you guys can see, we got Josh to send a voice note. This is really important. If you're at a point where it's like vital, like you're at a vital point in the conversation, you know exactly what your creator should say, but you just know that it would be better in a voice note, send the voice note. Get them to send the voice note. This is what Josh said.
Hey bro, so this way of building a personal brand.
Holy fuck, the audio sounds cooked. Basically what he said was the way of building that personal brand, it can get you views, but it doesn't build an audience of followers because there's no intention, so you're not speaking to a specific person. A lot of people get stuck at like 10K followers because of this. And if you look at the most successful personal brands, even the people with low followings, including Josh himself, it's done with the right strategy, it's done with the right intention. And as a result, like we make more money. Then he talked about a client, like a client testimonial. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think, man. Yeah, so basically he used a student testimonial and he explained like why that was wrong. Isaac then responded like this.
I fully agree, brother. Fully agree. So I'm more curious to see, like, what do you do specifically? Is it content strategy? Is it...
And then he just asked, what do you do? And all we did from here is build a, like, urgency, ask the urgency question, and then bang. He said, yeah. He basically just agreed with us and said that he's been doing it for a minute, and then we pitched a call, right? And this is, like, a perfect B2B conversation, in my opinion. Like, it's one of the best B2B conversations I've seen on this offer. The biggest thing to take away from it is, firstly, why was it strong? Does anyone know why it was so strong? Or why it was so easy? Why did it look so easy? Why did the lead keep asking him for advice? Anyone know?
Because he fucked with it.
Yes,
Like,
exactly. Exactly. The rapport was good.
And he knew we can provide value. Like he knew we were capable of helping him.
Exactly. You guys literally hit it nail on the head, right? His rapport was good, so they liked him. And on top of that, he provided value. So he built trust. And he talked about case studies, and as a result, Isaac knew, number one, I like this guy, and number two, he can help me. So I'm gonna ask for help, right? If your conversations are this good, then you'll tend to find like there's a lot more people that are just randomly asking you for help in your DMs, right? It is super important. What I want you guys to do is like, especially if you're on a B2B offer, I would go over this Fathom, I would get screenshots of the conversation, I'd put it on a Miro board, and I'd reference it in future. Because when you are setting, like, how helpful is it to look back at this conversation when you're saying?
I keep using this again.
It's super helpful. Like, even this report framework, like, you can use this shit. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Let's have a look at a couple others and just see what they're saying. Yo, Josh, may I ask what camera and lens you use? Let's have a look at his profile. I help brands and ad agencies make ad creatives, hitting 300K a month. May I ask what camera and lens you have and Sue use to shoot content? You and Sue use to shoot content. Currently have the Sony FX3 with a 16mm. What made you ask? Okay, cool. What do you guys think here? What could we have done better here?
I don't know. I feel like if you said anything more about Sue, it would have been like...
How could you have mentioned Sue? Because there is a way that you could have mentioned Sue here, which would have been mad effective.
Used to be his videographer or something.
Bit of a stretch. Bit of pushy. Anyone?
Something about the camera, the specific camera not really making that much of an impact on Sue's success. Like, to be honest, bro.
You could have gone down either route, right? You could have gone down the route of, when I was working with Sue, we used this, but now I think he uses this. And then he's naturally going to say, how come you're not working with Sue? You can also go down the route of making a joke about how he's saying you and Sue, and how everyone thinks like him and Sue are like basically the same person because they came up together, right? So you could even say something like, I don't know, like you think me and Sue are the same person, lol. Some shit like that, right? The idea is that you just bring Sue in a jokey way because that's going to be a very easy transition to business. Let's see, what did he say here though? He said, you're alright, thanks for letting me know, bro. The reason I asked is because I'm thinking about getting into content because at the moment I'm just like relying on outbound and referrals. He said that he knows one of our clients and he said that he watches us and Sue as well. What else did he say? He said he's also in London. He doesn't like it, basically. So yeah, he's like, it's like kind of a through ball. What would we do here? Anyone got any ideas?
Probably ask his plan for the content.
Yeah.
Like, how has he got about it?
Yeah, I think asking plan for the content is actually not a bad idea. I think Gab went ahead and pitched. He said, I know Joey. You shouldn't say this. Yeah, I know Joey. Of course you know Joey. He's your fucking client, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I would have gone into like more results-based stuff. done some solid work with him on the content side. Down to set you up on a call with my business partner, bro, and we can run you through what we've been building for Joey and see if it would be a good fit for you too. This is good, but I think the way you like presented the call could have been better. Don't get me wrong, I'm down to run a call, but in terms of investing, I was looking at testing out, setting that budget aside for running ads directly through my profile first. How does for inbound? If it doesn't work, I'll definitely looking into good camera softbox too. What's your thoughts, bro? Just trying to get us best my biz. Cool. What would you guys say here? It's actually not cooked. This is fine.
No, the last bit.
I mean, I definitely challenge him with the ads because, like, you can't run ads before the content, and I tell him like you should do content and add the ads on top, and that would push him more towards getting on the call and doing content.
Okay, you have to be very careful here because this guy is an ads guy. He's run ads for fucking Lil Durk, right? So you can't say that ads don't work with content, without content. What you can say is that profile visit ads, which is what he's talking about, or DM CTA ads, don't work as well unless your organic is dialed in.
Yeah.
Because the leads will come to you, but they won't get nurtured enough to pay you, right? And you could even talk about how, like, a lot of the time with people who have been pushing low ticket ads, it's very different when they push high ticket because you need an organic presence to sell a high ticket offer through profile visit ads. And then you don't want to say like directly what he's done, but he's going to think, oh, that's actually true. Like that actually makes sense because for Lil Durk, we were doing ticket sales, which is like $50. Or we were doing like fucking album sales, I don't know, right? So that's how I would have responded to it. What's your thoughts on that? To be honest, I don't think putting money is wrong with ads. I see them work, organic is dialed in, but if your positioning and messaging aren't dialed yet, ads can just end up pushing your page to more unqualified people. Okay, so this is the issue that you made, is that you told him that ads don't work without organic. You didn't specify anything. So he thinks, oh shit, like this guy's chatting shit because I run ads for a living. Like, what do you mean, right? Whereas, if you had said, it depends on what you're doing, but if you're running profile ads specifically or DM ads specifically, then it doesn't work. Or not even that it doesn't work, it works better if you have organic, right? That was the issue. And then you push forward for the call again. I wouldn't have pushed forward. I would have let him respond to that and see what he thinks and then carried on from there. You know what I'm saying? Sure, sounds good. I can definitely take a look. I had a talk with Joey myself too, but didn't see much in terms of his numbers via organic. He just told me he started posting a bit and he didn't make it evident that he made a crazy jump via organic. I've just hired a crazy group of editors now. I use myself. We edit organic. Cool. Yeah. So he's given you an objection. He said he hasn't seen many client results through Joey, or Joey didn't mention anything about it. And then he said he hired a crazy group of editors. Basically, the best way to handle it is to talk about how Joey actually has results, right? We've actually got this client results. So all we need to do is get screenshots of the results, send it through, and then talk to him about how having editors is actually fine because ours is done with you, right? So having editors is good if you know what you're doing with the right content strategy. Then what I'd probably do here is send him some free resources and send him on his way, and then he'll come back and he'll pay. Okay. That's the idea. But yeah, guys, any final questions before we head out? That's all we have time for today. Cool? All right, I appreciate you guys. I hope you got value from this call. I will send through the recording to the Discord.
Thank you.
Peace, boys.